In recovering your true voice and your authentic expression, you learn how to inhabit this vessel that is the body, physically and energetically and emotionally. You can open the vessel and the channel so that the energy can move through. So really the work is not just, oh, I just open my voice and let it go. I always tell people if it's closed, it's for a reason. It's because it's not safe. So that's why we work. It's not only something that happens in the voice, but it completely changes how you connect with the world. For example, the typical thing for women is they give until they exhaust themselves.
Welcome to this week's Timeless, which is all about the voice. I'm excited to share that I'm currently crafting a workshop all about speaking from your true voice that I will have ready for you soon. Make sure you're on our newsletter if you want to be the first to know when that drops. You can join our weekly meditations where you can either drop into sessions or join the membership, which is called The Rhythm. It's a beautiful and live space where we come together in a potent and regenerative field from wherever you are in the world. And after the joy of Navaratri and by demand, I'm also going to begin hosting a fortnightly mantra circle, which is around the full and new moons. You can find links for these in the show notes too. And in these sessions, we will be chanting mantras from the tantric Hindu traditions, and I'll be sharing translations as well as the transmission of these beautiful, beautiful sounds. For our Timeless this week, we have gone way back to episode 28 with Alumnus Alejandra Ortis on sound healing, indigenous wisdom, and ayahuasca, called Singing the Codes of Mother Earth to Heal and Remember. I really loved revisiting this one. And if you go and listen to the whole thing, we go deeper into the shadows of plant medicine spaces and medicine music and how to live with integrity within this culture. I highly recommend that you do go listen to the whole episode. My guest, Alumnus Alejandra Ortis, is a Colombian singer-composer and multi-instrumentalist, graduated from Berklee College of Music in Massachusetts, USA, and a sound therapist with certification from the Voice, Sound, and Music Healing Program of the California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. In 2004, she founded the visionary electronic folk duo Lulu Cruiser. Since 2016, she makes music with her beloved husband, the Swedish singer and producer Marcus Berg, under the name of Minut. And I actually met them performing in Bali a long, long time ago. Deeply rooted in the immemorial ritual practices of the Americas, Almunis is the creator of the embodied voice method. Since 2005, she's offered thousands of voice and sound healing sessions internationally, sharing her connection with singing as part of self-knowledge and transformation. She incorporates yoga, Taoist training, drama therapy, and meditation, as well as her love for water and plants in her healing work with sound. All her songs, chants, and offerings across the world aim to anchor light and sound codes from her star ancestry back to the earth, activating an authentic, powerful presence of love and unity. She is the founder and director of Sonido Sana and is currently based in Bogota, Colombia, where she lives with her husband and 2 daughters. In this Timeless, we explore how to remember your voice and sing freely. What if your voice isn't something inside of you waiting to be found, but a river of life moving through you? We explore how to release the fear of being heard, the lineage of silence, and the need to sing beautifully to be loved. Voice becomes not a performance, but a prayer, a way for breath, emotion, and life force to flow freely. Almunis reminds us that when we open the body and let sound move, we reconnect to something ancient. And this is an invitation to remember that you are not just the singer, you are the song. Welcome to All That We Are, with me, your host, Amisha Tala Oak. On this show, we explore the weave between activism, the sacred, creativity, and regeneration, the spaces where our inner and outer worlds dance. From healing trauma to nature connection, to new technologies, to ancient wisdom, it's time for us to move beyond silos and into an integrated way of being. Every one of us has ideas and personal experiences to share that can lead us to a more beautiful future. Despite the challenges we face as a global community or the pressures we meet in our daily lives, when we stop and dare to listen, to ask ourselves the big questions, and to share what we are already doing and envisioning, we create the futures of our wildest dreams, and we begin to embody all that we are becoming, and all that is possible.
When people want to sing, most of people don't feel like they can sing. It's like, oh no, I'm not really a singer. No, oh, my sister is the one who really sings well. We have all these stories attached to our expression. And then when people start tapping into it, it's like, oh, I want to express. So it's something like, oh, there you have something inside that wants to come out. But I have a very different way of looking at the voice. I think it's kind of like the usual way of people trying to sing or to find their voice. And it's like, if you feel you have something inside that wants to come out, of course you want to be loved, right? Because we all want to be loved. That's very attached to the voice, like, oh, I want to sing pretty so that others love me and see me and accept me. And my whole approach to singing is like, it's not really about what is inside of you that wants to come out. It's about what wants to come through you. It's like we are just a vehicle for all the life force that is like vibrant everywhere, that we are a part of. And that comes through us in the form of the breath. It's not something that is inside, it just comes through. It's like when light hits a prism, and then it creates this pattern of colors. And that like crystal is unique in each one. That's like your own voice, your own makeup, your soul story, your body, like everything is that crystal. But the voice is not really that which is inside of you that wants to come out. It's that which moves through. And then in recovering your true voice and your authentic expression, you learn how to inhabit this vessel that is the body, physically and energetically and emotionally. And you can open the vessel and the channel so that the energy can move through. And then sometimes the energy can be like this fierce force that is, because it's just the energy of anger moving through, and it's just an emotion. It means it's just that energy that is moving through. It's not you. It's just something that is moving through. And then you can allow for that energy to move through in the form of voice. And it doesn't need to be pretty, because it's not about you being loved. You are love. You are love, and everything is love. We forgot. But by opening the body to let like the sound of the voice be like a cleansing, like current, then, oh, this is just who is feeling those emotions. What is that there? So you can really start taking out the component of I want to be loved, I want to be seen, I want to sound pretty, which creates this very strange structure around the voice. Because no, we don't sing to be loved back. We sing because we are love, and that has infinite forms. So that it frees you. It's like you open the channel, and then whatever, oh, you don't like it? Okay, I don't care, because I am in it. I am life. I am expression of life force and elements and consciousness moving through. That's like kind of the whole way of seeing it. Invites people to really embody the vessel and connect energetically and anchor like in your axis. Physically and energetically. And then once you are in that energetic throne, then so many different things can move through that are not only pretty. This is very limiting. You want to be loved. You don't want to be the one who has the that stands out because it's out of tune. So you protect yourself because you want to be loved. So you stay pretty, you stay quiet. But other than that, really the reasons go so deep. Like in the work that I do individually, we find things in the lineage. This is very common in women, but also in men. But there's a specific type of blockage that comes from women voices. So, for example, a classic setup, for being blocked in the voices. You don't want to sing because you don't want to call attention to yourself. You don't want to show that you're beautiful because it's not safe. If you're beautiful, then you can be basically raped, taken advantage of. It's like there's a memory in the lineage that women, you need to tone it down. If you really live in your full power and full beauty, it's too much for other people to handle. So many times people are afraid not that they are ugly or like that it's going to be ugly, but that actually there's a memory that if this is really beautiful, I need to work with this energy and it might be dangerous. So I find in the lineage there's lots of stories from ancestors that have to do with the power of the feminine flow and beauty. Also life, like past life stuff. Usually I work with these layers and it's not always easy. You need to really go deep and you can have imprints from when you were in the womb and so on. So really the work is not just, I just open my voice and let it go. I always tell people if it's closed, it's for a reason. It's because it's not safe. So that's why we work. Like people come, I feel my throat chakra is closed. It's like, yeah, that's closed, but that's not the only thing that's happening. That's the result of the whole system is protecting you by closing the throat. And so we work, like for example, you need to really be rooted, be connected to the earth, know that you can ground the energy that is going to move through, that you can receive, that you are held, and then that you can let like water energy cleanse you. So many things help that are not related directly, apparently, to the throat. And then you can create a container when it's like, okay, now it's time to touch here, to touch this place of pain, of memory, or, the more superficial layers would be like, you were told you can't sing. And then you go deeper. It's like, why are you not being a vibrant expression of life? Is that? And then you're like, this is what I'm here to do, just to be. I always also tell people it's like a tree. It's like the tree is a tree and it has flowers and creates fruits for everybody, anything to eat and enjoy. It's not like I'm going to do this so that this flower is only for you or this apple is only for this. It's like, no. So the voice usually is like that. It's like I sing pretty in front of this, or I do it because of, I want to please somebody else. And it's like, no, this is just who we are. This is what we do. We sing, we dance, we breathe. That's what makes us human. And it's beautiful when you connect with communities that have a closer relationship with that, because it's like, that's what we do. We harness and create like this vibration together. And that's how we make things happen. It's like, to me, I feel like I have memories of us doing this as humans. Being like, no, we totally worked with sound for so long. And very subtle and very concrete technology. It's a really concrete technology, and like it's so clear to me. Like you infuse water with the vibration, because that's it's the most sensitive material. It takes that shape, and then that water infuses everything that it touches with that vibration and that intention. It's fascinating to me, and it's also kind of puzzling that we are kind of so far from it, when it seems like this should be like the basic thing you do in school.
So I want to come back to the community, but I know we have a lot of men that are listening to you, and I wanted to ask, what is it that's the most common patterns that you see in men that close their voices?
I see that they don't feel supported. Usually they are very blocked in the back energy body. It's like once they start kind of like embracing their masculinity, they feel kind of like alone. Like, I have to take this on myself. It's like you leave your mom's womb, you leave that security of the like all-encompassing female like source energy, and then you're like, okay, I'm a man, I'm alone, like I'm gonna, I have this energy that wants to push through, and they feel not supported. There's like a way of learning how to reel in like their own energy, kind of like in their axis, so that they're not depending on others for connecting back to the source. It's like about tapping into their feminine, nourishing side, their own, so that they can kind of like lean back into their own arms, into their own like yoni source. So it's like finding, I do a lot of work balancing masculine and feminine polarities inside an individual, because somehow of course we are divided in two, but each one of us has both inside, and that shows really clearly in the voice. Usually there is one, I call them like spirals, like the masculine spiral, like outward, just wants to go out, is ready for action. And usually one of those is more prominent, like either the masculine or the feminine. There's like embracing, receiving. And in the work with the voice and with the energy and posture, you can see, it's like I sing and but I can't really feel how that is touching others. I don't know how to receive. I don't know also how to contain my own energy and be complete within myself. So usually for men, it has to do with finding their own like feminine source and feeling supported and taken care by it, and not just being like swallowed in, by the feminine force. It's about this balance, like a dance of spirals. If it's too much, too feminine, going in, then you don't dare to step out and to break through. You're all the time, okay, stay here, be safe, come in here. So it's a lot about balancing those energies. And in the process in the voice, it's not only something that happens in the voice, but it completely changes, like specifically with this method, how you connect with the world. Because you become aware of, for example, the typical thing for women is they give until they exhaust themselves.
Yeah, that's why I've been ill for the last few weeks in Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the imbalance. It just goes that well. It's like, I'm here, and if you have like, I want to serve the world, then you serve, usually from like a place of sacrifice, because that's what we've learned. It's like, no, you can't be happy and be, sensual and fulfilled and have a family and have a mission in the world and be, doing a potent service. It's like we're learning in this time that no, it's about embracing it all, and it has to be done, or we have the invitation this time to do it with joy and not from the standpoint of sacrifice. So for women, that's a really strong thing. The use of the voice. It's like, I give everything, and I connect with all these amazing things, but at the end, I'm exhausted. I gave my last bits. And so it's like, okay, no, come back to yourself. Say when it's, okay, I give you this, but this is for me. And I'm nourishing and cultivating that place inside where I am full and I am abundant and I am the source. And so that has to do with, you can see it in the posture, in the sound, in the attitudes.
It's interesting. I'm definitely in a process with that. Yeah, I'm sure, in my voice as well as in life. And I feel like everyone's trying to understand deeper at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, I think as we learn to relate, I mean, it's kind of like we've clearly realized that it has not been working. Like whatever we've been doing has not been working in terms of partnerships, and that's my feeling at least. Like we are reinventing the whole thing of how we inhabit the earth and how we live with each other, and it really asks for new ways of being man and women and couple and balancing the energies that are not flowing in harmony. But it's a very special time because it's letting go of the control over the situations. It's, yes, leads to chaos, and it's so scary. That feels like it's very needed.
Where do you feel like the ancient wisdom comes in with this new paradigm of kind of, if we're moving into a space where actually we don't know and everything's being kind of rewired, and then yet I know in my journey and in your journey, ancient wisdom has provided so much.
I think in my case, my connection to like the ancient teachings and wisdom has to do with being in touch with the earth, like really with nature as an intelligent being, with the water as an intelligent being. I talk about this a lot with my husband because he comes, from studying the Vedas and having his teachers and the deep tradition in like India and the study of the self, I feel. And in my case, it's kind of like you achieve kind of those conclusions on your own. It has not been taught, but it's all about how everything is related to each other. And how, you are what you are eating, like really literally, the traditions that I've worked with, in South America and in North America. They're all the time reminding you of how everything is connected. That's, I think, the place that this specific wisdom can have now so many times is about the experience of connection, not necessarily about the words that are being said or the teachings that have been passed are like a way of living, like with the earth. And in a way that makes these traditions very fragile because they are not necessarily like, no, this is written, like this is what we do, this is what it changes so fast. It's like, for example, once plastic gets to a community in the Amazon, they still throw things of plastic to the earth because that's what they always did. And many times in my work with indigenous people and going to visit, I've been fascinated since I was very young and have had the chance of spending a lot of time with different like tribes and communities in Colombia and other places too. But many times they lack the tools to translate and to adapt to plastic, for example, or cell phones, or it's like, it's in a way not many of them are aware what they're up against, because that's been my experience. Then there are some like specific indigenous groups that have a more developed understanding of the current world. And they've understood that they had to build bridges if they wanted to preserve their wisdom and their knowledge. But a lot of them didn't, they just lost their languages when the Spanish people came, for example. And then you lose a whole way of seeing reality and understanding relationships. So much has been lost, because of the language imposing on the indigenous people, specifically like in South America. It's rare the places where they've been educating themselves so they can build bridges, so that they can preserve their culture in contact with the others. It's a very fragile thing. You go and you go deep, and then you see they're also looking for answers in many places. Looking for how do we deal with this world? Because before, untouched, there were things they could manage. But things like plastic really is like, oh, they have no idea how to deal with this. Same as in the cities. Like, it's not like they have the wisdom and the answers for that. They're also looking for needing solutions in those same places. But I think the reverence for the earth as a life being, and like the total understanding that we depend on each other, it's like about the relationship all the time. It's like you're never alone, separate individual, which is kind of different from how you look, for example, into the self. You ask these deep questions, but in my connection, it has to do with relationship. You're like, how can I do something that will harm the water? Like, I am the water. Like, it's really clear. It's very simple, very, very simple truths. And the technologies they've developed. So, for example, using a plant teacher, you can have so many epiphanies and profound insights, but it still comes back to the very basic things. Like, you are the water, you are the earth, you are the air, you are, the glow of the sun, of the fire. We are all made of the same elements. Everything is made of the same elements. Why is it so hard? It brings you back to remembering the thread, the invisible thread. That's to me is like the key thing. When people are again sensible, have the open to feel that, like, of course, what hurts you is hurting me. There's a really beautiful and subtle wisdom in that doesn't necessarily translate to books and knowledge. Sometimes it does, and some teachers have written things, but it's more about the experience of being one with everything. And then, of course, I will do everything to take care of this. What are we doing? It's so far, right? So it's...
Yeah, I read a really silly quote the other day, but it just stuck with me. Said, like, if trees gave Wi-Fi, we'd be planting them everywhere. But instead they only give us the air that we breathe.
Right.
And so we're like, whatever.
Really?
And it's like, I mean, it made me laugh because it's so painful, actually. Like, if I didn't laugh at that, I would just be crying. But it's some things have got so warped and distorted.
Yes.
In this simple idea of connection. And then you look at the corporations and all of these things that are happening, or just, people that just haven't got the awareness or don't care about what they're using. And, I was reading the other day that McDonald's alone releases 1 million plastic straws per day into the world. And we know that doesn't go anywhere. And it's like, wow, but these are all human beings. It's human beings making all of these decisions that are breathing the same air, and living on the same land. And no one's like more special than anyone else. We all need the air.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's so
like the mind just
crazy.
Why? Like,
yes, like it affects everyone. It's like it will affect your children too. It's like, whoa. Is it so hard to see? Like, that's always to me the greatest gift from sharing with indigenous healthy communities. It's so simple. Like, we can create so many things. We're here to create so many things, and we have chosen such a strange array of creations to put our energy into. And most people don't realize that you are actually giving away your creative energy constantly by feeding the main story. But we have the potential to create any story. That's why I love the work, for example, with the voices. Like, as you connect with your expression, it's like, okay, what am I here to create? Really, like, we can do anything.
Thank you for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode and it has sparked some inspiration and creativity in you. This is one of our timeless editions, a short and powerful piece of wisdom for you to contemplate, integrate, and embody. We have an archive of over 200 epics, long, deep conversations for you to explore, share, and enjoy. We keep this podcast advertising free as we don't want to sell you things that you don't need. This is made possible by you supporting our work as a member of Presence Collective, a patron, or through joining our offerings. You can also support us by sharing this with those that you love. Can you send it to 10 people who you know will find it powerful? This podcast is made by an all-female global team. You can explore our world at allthatweare.org and find your ways to take part. All That We Are celebrates all that we are already and the untapped potential that lives inside us. We exist to offer a space of sanctuary in the ever-increasing chaos, a place where you can come and be in good company, a place where you can learn, unlearn, and connect to your own wisdom. And know that in each and every moment, all that we are is here.